So refresher tools, but we're also going to be kind of looking more at like a space in an object rather than just lines and circles. So the first thing we're going to actually do is we're going to take the whole thing and we're going to mirror it along the axis or the same outside line. Okay? Don't erase the source object. So as you can see, all the blocks mirrored with it, right? So they look like a mirrored object to them. So, but I want to show you that if, for instance, if we come in and we're going to edit our really, really funky tub. So we're going to go ahead and go into the block editor of the tub. So I just want to show you guys this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to slam this back over to the end. So it's just there's no kind of border above. Yeah, just slam it over. Doesn't matter because we're not using this really for anything except for just practice. And then we're going to go ahead and close the block editor. So it's just that simple change. And you can see here that it does it, but it does it the opposite direction. So I just want you to realize that when you mirror a block, that it is going to change in the opposite direction. It's always going to reference the original direction that we did it. So if we go back into the block editor, and let's just say we wanted a dimension on the block itself. So go ahead and put a dimension, it should be 6 foot. Close it, save tub. You'll realize that the dimension on this block is backwards. So something you got to be really careful about when you start mirroring and stuff with the blocks. There is a way through the parametrics to change it and fix it, but that would actually be putting attributes to blocks, which we're not going to do at this point. So, which you're not even going to be dimensioning really any blocks for the class anyway. So, but I just want you to be aware, like you'll see funky stuff like this when you start doing mirroring of blocks, because you know the doors you're not really going to notice that much because it's just a plan. But this that has like an uneven shape, yeah, it will. So what we're going to do is we're actually now, well, we'll go back in there. I don't know if you guys did it, but I'm going to delete it and just close it because we don't really need the dimension there. But I just want to show you that the blocks, when you do mirror them, and if you change one, it changes them all. Obviously, it's not like some of the other stuff where you could change one at a time. Okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to trim out both of these center lines here so that there's a thicker wall in between.
What's the distance?
What?
What's the distance between those two walls? Does it matter?
Well, it should have just been mirrored, so it should be double the distance, so it should be 10
so
inches.
Should be,
Yep. It should be
the
10
start
inches.
point should be where it finishes.
Yeah. So, and then you can see that we have two lines down here. So, in case I want to modify those later, we're just simply going to join them. So you can just type join, and it actually creates one line now. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. Yeah. So now we have 4 rooms. Look at that. These are fast. So if we were gonna create, like, I don't know, maybe this is like a single, like a studio apartment, like super small, even like in like, I don't know, China has a lot of really small apartments or whatever. And we wanted to start drawing some of the furniture in here. What would be the first step to do? If we were going to draw it manually and not download something off the internet, would I draw it and copy it, or what would you guys suggest? Make it a block? Yeah. So if we're gonna do that, so we're gonna go ahead and do that real quick, just so we could get over some blocks again. So the first thing I want you guys to do is draw a rectangle, 24 by 24. And then we're gonna place it 2 inches in and 2 inches over from the inside of the wall. So it's 2 by 2 in.
So red. What's the size of the?
24 by 24. Then we're gonna mirror it across. So now you have 2 side tables essentially. And then how big is this in between? Okay. Then we're gonna draw one that is 96 by 36. And we're gonna put that one in the middle and 2 inches away. So 24 by 24, and then the larger one is 96 by 36.
96 by 36?
Mm-hmm.
What was that, 96 by what?
36. So we kind of have like 2 end tables and a couch, right? At least the outline. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually offset to give us the couch some arms. So if we offset 6 inches from the both sides and the back, then we'll trim it off. So it should read like something like that.
What did you offset by?
6.
What was the dimension of the rectangle, the middle one?
96 by 36. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make a new layer, and we're just gonna call it I dash furniture. You can just type fern, it's fine. I am going to make mine orange, just because that's what I'm used to. So then you're gonna put all of those on the furniture layer. Yep.
Where are all the dimensions on the inside of the couch?
6.
6?
This is 6, yeah. Right? I think I did 6. Yeah. Okay. Now on the right side, I want to draw a circle. Okay. Why didn't I draw it? Anyways, from the center, and I want the radius to be 8. Okay. And then on the left side, I want to draw another rectangle that is 8.5 by 11. And just place it anywhere within the box, doesn't really matter.
8 by 11?
8.5 by 11. Yeah. 8 is the radius of the circle. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create 3 new blocks. So block, I'm going to specify, or I'm going to do the pick point, and I'm just going to start on the left side, the left table, and then select my objects. I'm going to select both of the rectangles. Okay. I don't want to open it in the block editor, and I'm just going to say table dash magazine.
Radius on the circle?
8.
What are the dimensions of that magazine?
I'm sorry?
What are the dimensions of
8.5 by 11. Piece of paper. Then if we do the same thing for the other one, table slash lamp dash lamp. Then the last one will be, I'm going to call it couch, but I'm also going to put a dimension on there, so 96. So as you can see, 3 different separate blocks, right? So I'll give you guys some time to catch up so you can put the 3 blocks in. So the reason for doing all of this, so we can make another block. So highlight, or if you, so there's 2 different ways. So we've been doing it so far where you go and you pick the objects right after we go into block. So you can go the other way too. So if I select the objects and I type in block, you can see that it's already selected the objects for me. So you can see up here, I got the little box that shows all 3 little objects in there, right? So that's 2 different ways to do it. So if you don't want to have, like, let's say you have like a really complex thing and it's easier to pick it and then just type block, it works that way too. So if I do a pick point, I'm simply going to do the center of the couch just because that's the middle of the entire thing, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to say, like, couch and table setup. Okay? And yes, I'm actually putting the letter N. Just like keep it shorter because when you get to like a long list, you wouldn't be able to read the whole thing. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and okay. And now you see that I only have 1 tag to move it around in, right? So let's say that you go, oh shoot, I need to edit the table, right? Without editing the couch or the other table, right? For instance, let's say we want to edit the table lamp. And this is why I named them individually so that I could actually go in and do it. So this is where edit block in place comes in really, really, really handy. Okay? So we're going to right click after you've selected the new block. Okay? And then edit block in place. So you're going to see in here it has couch and table setup, but then it has 3 more and it has all 3 other ones, right? So this is where I'm saying that you could actually go ahead and if you click on it, you can kind of see in the background that it kind of changes. It's showing you which one you're grabbing. You see how it's changing? So if we wanted to go ahead, let's just say we do the table lamp, and I'm just going to add another circle, right? This time diamond or radius of 3. Make it the same color, just so now it looks like a conal shape or something in plan.
Attribute and all that, the bar. How can it?
Type in command bar.
The command bar is there.
Yeah.
You know how?
Type in ribbon.
Ribbon?
Ribbon. 3 inches. And then if I hit save changes, I hit OK, you can see now I go back out all the way to the front, and now my block's been changed. And like a real reason to do this was, let's say you're laying out a parking lot, right? And you have like you park the parking stalls or whatever, and they all have the parking block in the front, and the client comes back and says, "Oh no, I need a skinnier one" or something. Like, you could have the block be within the parking spot, and then that parking spot could be within a set of parking spots. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm showing you in an architectural sense. So, like, for instance, if we had multiple rooms that are exactly the same, like, we could come in. Let's do this. We're gonna do block, and then I'm gonna select everything, all 3 blocks that were in the restroom. Okay. And then I'm just gonna say restrooms, right? Pick the point on the screen. I'm gonna pick the upper right hand corner. Hit OK. So, for instance, if you let's say you were laying out an apartment complex, and all of a sudden they decided they wanted every single bedroom to have a different size bed in it, but or I guess that's not a good example, but a better example would be if you're doing like a hotel room, and this set had a certain amount of things that you want to change in this set, and you have like a suite versus a regular room. You could go in there and you could change. Like, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll lay out the furniture and stuff within there, using a block within a block, right? And then that way you could actually go in there and you could modify it all, and it'll go across 7,000 rooms at once. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to do multiple things and move things around. So use it a lot of time in our industry too. When we're doing like certain offices and stuff, sometimes we'll change like a certain cabinet in an office, change it right on the fly. It's really fast. So I just want to show you that you could actually have multiple blocks within another block, and you could go another layer and another layer and another layer and another layer, right? So if you have like a mechanical part, like an engine or something, you could go your smallest piece, a nut or a washer could actually be a block, and then the whatever, I don't even know, any belt could be a block, and the turnbuckle could be a block, and the pulleys could be a block, and those could all have the same nut in it, and then the overall engine could be a block, and then you could copy that down or however you want, So blocks within blocks, and they act the same. So if I change one, it's going to change across the whole thing. So just fair warning, it's kind of a good idea if you have a room or you can have a repetition of rooms to save your blocks within blocks, because they're a lot easier to mirror and everything too. You copy them all over at once, they all look the same, so you don't have drawings where this bedroom looks slightly different than this, even though they're the exact same size and they're just mirrored, So, for instance, if I wanted to change the bathroom layout and I came in, this one's not a block, so we could go ahead and we can mirror it so that it'll be a block on the other side.
I'm missing my layer properties. It's like cut off.
So now we modified the layout by going in and editing the parent block, and then mirroring it across, moving it. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the table to a new table, because this table, the side table, no longer works there. So we'll do the same thing. We edit the block in place, and I just want to edit the actual parent block. I'm going to take this table, and I'm actually just going to delete it. And then there's a button up here that says add to working set. So if I hit that and then I click on the block, voila, that'll pop it right in there. I'll go over it again. Give me a sec. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. I'll do it again. So we'll go back, okay? Okay, we're going back. Now this is where you're at, right? Yeah. Did you create the second block? The table? The coffee table? Yes? You're lying. Okay. Okay. All right. So If I go into here and I go into edit block in place again, right? Couch and table setup. Okay. Now you have those buttons. Ah. So we go ahead and we hit add to working set, erase the other one. Then you can hit save changes, because yes, I'm happy with my changes. Voila, it changed both of them now.
What? Got rid of my toilet.
I would have no answer for that one.
Press OK. Delete it. No, 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 no.
So that's an easy way if, like, you know, like you start adding or changing the blocks that were in with the parent block, but you still want to leave the parent block as it. You just go layers and layers and layers and layers and layers deep, basically.